You're in the blind spot.
It's like we are recording.
All right, it is 7 o'clock, so I will call to order the regular meeting of the board. Please stand for pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's an open meeting statement on the south wall of the boardroom. All board members are in attendance. 1.4 review code of ethics policy. This is considered our board restructuring meeting every January, regardless if it's an election year or not. We vote on officers and we reassign committees. And we placed this on the agenda just as a rule to follow, let the public know, and remind all board members that policy 8130 is basically our job description. And to just make sure that's public record. So with that, we'll move on to electing board officers. So I'll turn that over to Dr. Dacre.
Yeah, we need to elect president and then vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Typically, our treasurer has been our business manager, Angie Moore. But obviously, you're welcome to do something different. But I doubt any of you would like that task. And so we'll start with electing a president, and then we'll turn it over to our president to continue with the rest of the officer elections. And so do we have any nominations for the office of president?
I nominate Stephanie.
Can I second? Do we second? Or do we
Yep.
wait till
Do we have a second on that nomination? So, and Stephanie, do you accept the nomination? Do you have any other nominations for the office of president?
Not for me.
All right. So we will do our dandy vote then.
We have to vote on it since there's only one person.
Well, we'll just make it
just
official.
write on that and then rip it off and fold it so we can
So we just write yay or nay.
Who are you voting for the office of president? I think it ought to be fairly easy, but ouch.
So
So that's all right. Here we go. Let's see, Donnie. No, I read that one. Stephanie, and Stephanie. Congratulations, 6-0 vote.
Okay.
The board has elected Stephanie to continue as our presidency. And so with that, I'll turn it over to you, to the vice president, secretary, and treasurer.
All right. I'll open it up for nominations for vice president.
I will nominate Marcus.
I'll second that.
Moved by Casey, seconded by Justin. Marcus, do you accept his nomination?
Sure.
Right. Are there any other nominations for vice president?
Donnie?
Good.
All right. And we'll vote.
Cast your ballot, Sweden, or vote for vice president, please. Anybody need some more official yellow voting paper? I can give that to them. It's two there. Okay. Let's get it. All right, see what we got here. Marcus, Donnie, Marcus. 5-1 move.
Good.
And with that, I'll open it up for nominations for secretary.
They place a call. I second.
Wait, who made the motion?
Second by Marcus.
Shield by Downey, seconded by Marcus, or Casey be secretary. Are there any other nominations?
Right.
Well, Casey, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Are there any other
Thank you.
nominations for secretary? Okay. Then we will vote.
So we have
Anybody else?
just tax seat and hold your breath. I know.
Please, Campbell, turn.
I mean, everybody watches this.
True. Come on.
If that take the distance,
All right, we got Casey, and Casey. 6-0.
All right, congratulations, Casey.
thank you. And
Our last officer is treasurer, and nominations for treasurer.
Nominate Angie Moore.
I'll stuck at them.
Moved by Marcus, seconded by Justin for making work to be our treasurer. Yuki is not here to accept the nomination, so I will accept it on her behalf. And, well, you vote. Or is there any other nominations for treasurers? Pick it, Zach. All right, we'll go for the vote.
three, no.
This is the last one.
Yes, last one. Wait to make it.
I'm
sure you did right.
So,
Dan. There, go Angie, CNG, and Angie.
Congratulations.
All right.
All right, that concludes the election of board officers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to appointing board members to committees. I had sent out an email a week or so ago asking board members if they were comfortable with the committees they were on, if there were any committees that they would rather be on, so that I, have time to make sure that we had wish people on the committees. I heard back from 5 out of 6 board members, so I want to make sure that everybody is okay with the slate of committees that we have currently. Everybody's comfortable with where they're at. Aaron, any you good?
Okay. Cool. And I do have the list. If you forgot what committee you're on, I did give you guys a list in your packet.
So if everybody's okay with that, then we'll just lead to, same committees.
So it's good.
Okay. Okay, we need to move on to 1.7, select the district newspaper of record.
Yeah, last year was the Banner Press and the Columbus Telegram. Just need to officially do that every year.
I'll make a motion to have the Banner Press and the Columbus Telegram be our official newspaper.
Second.
Moved by Downey, seconded by Marcus. Justin?
Yes.
Casey?
yes.
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 Yes, Aaron?
Yes.
Moving on, select depository banks and approve the related resolution.
Yeah, I gave you guys the attached resolution. We do use multiple banks here in the community. So like Bank of the Valley has our general fund, appreciation fund, special building fund, employee benefit fund, lunch fund, student fee fund, and bond fund. First National Bank has our activity fund, QC Puff fund, and our health savings accounts. And Union Bank has our 403B accounts. And so we need each year officially approve the bank resolution as our banks of record.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the related resolution regarding our depository banks for all of our accounts.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Donnie, seconded by Casey. Erie?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
Not good?
Yes.
I vote yes. Casey?
Yes.
Okay. Select legal counsel.
Yeah, we use both Perry Law Firm and KSB Law Firm, and so if we would approve your use of those two law firms, on behalf of the school district, please.
I'll make the motion to approve both Perry Law Firm and KSB.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved by Casey, seconded by Justin. Marcus?
Yes.
I vote yes. Aaron?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
All right, now that we got all of that stuff out of the way, we get to do the fun stuff and have staff and student involvement. So first up is our ESU 7 presentation from our director and the ESU staff members. So thanks.
Great. Well, thanks for having us here. I'm Tammy Clay. I'm the special ed director at ESU 7, and Dawn is your board member. So, like you, we have a board just with 12 members on it, and Dawn represents your area. So I just wanted to thank you for being here to help me. Today, she's handing out 2 things for you. The first is just a graphic that shows how you utilize the services at ESU 7, okay? And the second one describes all of the services that are available at ESU 7, okay? So I'm going to just point out a few things on this. And it tells you how many dollars have been saved. It tells you how many hours and how your staff is utilizing professional development. So it looks at a lot of the development happens at ESU 7, but there's a good part of it that we bring to your school as well on days like when you have in-service and things like that. And there is also some that's technology through Zoom. If you look down on the bottom, this is your special education contracts. Your school has a lot of special ed staff that you guys hire yourselves because you're a larger school. Smaller schools, you'll see a lot more contracted services because they can't hire somebody for a day or 2 a week. So you'll see a little bit more of that. This big triangle here, or rectangle that's blue here, these are all the services that your school accesses or has accessed, okay? And the front of this sheet shows this year, and no, this is last year, sorry. And the one right underneath it is what you've done so far this year, okay? So you can kind of compare and see all the different things. It shows your tech tickets, all the hours in professional learning, and how many people we've served. And you'll see that it's 1,100 participants. Well, we know you don't have 1,100 teachers, but each one is counted each time they receive some training. So that shows that your staff is receiving multiple trainings, which is really great. That's important for your staff to have access to that. What questions do you have about ESUs? Last time I came, I kind of gave you a little bit of a history, and I don't want to go over that again unless you would like to hear some more about it and what's required.
I don't know about a history, but you just want to give them a very, very quick synopsis of the kids that we send to the ESU.
Absolutely.
What programs are they?
Yes.
'Cause not every kid that we send there is in the same program.
That is
Maybe just
very
give them
true.
a quick
Yeah.
summary of what that.
Yeah,
And we have 3 level 3 programs, and those are, level 3 is just the amount of service that they have. That means that it's difficult for them to be served within your school because they have maybe complex needs or maybe behavior problems, or they need to learn special skills. They have to come to ESU 7. So the first one that we have is called Center 7, and that is to help mild and moderately handicapped students learn life skills that they need to become functioning and contributing members in their community. So they learn job skills, they learn self-help skills, they learn how to cook, they learn how to spend money and how to bank, all those things. They learn some academic things as well. but it's all done in the way that you would use it in the real world. So it's, further away from books and more into the community. Okay. The second one that we have is called Learning Academy, and that is specifically for students with behavioral challenges and mental health challenges. So it's a unique behavior program that pairs behavioral learning with mental health learning as well. So every student gets therapy from an LMHP, and they also get their academic skills and their social emotional skills from us, okay? And the third program is brand new, and I would like to thank Dr. Denker. He has supported that and has been good about asking hard questions and to help us make that program better. So he's very good at that, and I do appreciate it. I don't say that without appreciation, because if people don't ask the hard questions, we don't move forward. So it's really important. The third program is called Bridges, and this is for complex learners, such as classically autistic students who really struggle being successful in a classroom. They have behavioral, they have communication, they have social emotional needs, and we bring them in. And all three of our programs, the goal is transition. So they don't just come to us and then they stay there forever. Our goal is to transition them back to David City so that they can be successful in your school with their classmates and their neighbors, the people that they live in, the community that they live in. So that's a very important piece for us. And David City's been a great partner. Really great.
Any questions? Yes. And then, as a board member, I do have a request. We have multiple board members that support the David City area, and we do have a vacancy currently. So if you know of anyone who would like to serve on the ESU 7 board, we're looking for someone in District 7, which 64 Highway in Wendorf of that would be potentially something you could serve. They would be serving both David City and I think Lakeview or Columbus also. So I should serve multiple. I live obviously in this area, so I serve East Butler and David City. And so that one is in a different geographical area. So they would serve David City and a couple of other districts as well. So we have been struggling to find someone to fill that over 45 days at this point. And so if you have any suggestions, please send them my way.
Yeah. And I would just say that it's a difficult thing to fill because a lot of people do not know what an ESU does. So they don't necessarily understand what a board member would do, but it's very similar to what you do. I mean, we do almost the same things. Our budgets are probably set up a little bit differently, but overall, the responsibility of a board member would be very similar.
We just serve 19 school districts. It's enough.
Yeah. Right.
And where would they go in order to, they need to just contact the ESU? There's a point mission and process. So
Yes.
If
they have a question, they can just call the ESU and it's tell the person who answers the phone what they're interested in, and they'll get them to writers.
But this is not one that was recently elected. It was a vacancy in the middle, so it would be filling someone's term and then get reelected if they want to at that point.
Any questions that I can answer for you guys? Okay. Well, thank you. And I just want to, again, say thank you to David City for being such a great partner with the issue. We really, truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the services. Thanks, Penny. And thanks for coming.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Happy to do that, sweet.
Okay, we will move on to our pre-K leaders trip. Letters. All right.
I just have a few things to show to let you know up here.
All right. Well, I would like to thank you all for letting me come tonight and tell a little bit about a training that our 4 preschool teachers have been attending. And it is called the Letters for Early Childhood. And so I was doing a little research on the elementary letters program, and it stands for the Language Essentials for Teachers of Reading and Spelling. And the elementary letters program course has long been recognized as the gold standard of professional development where teachers gain knowledge that is essential to becoming teachers of language and literacy instruction. And as we all know, early childhood has become such an integral part of programs, and we know that the early childhood years are so critical in building the foundation that young children need in school and in life. So I think it's very exciting that they now have a program that is tailored just for professionals who teach early childhood. So a main goal of this program that we've been going through is to help build a literacy foundation for young children before they even learn to read or write. So all 4 of our David City preschool teachers have been taking this learning course. It is built up of 3 components. We've had 4 in-person classes, and we have 2 more coming up this spring. We have our print manual, and then we also have online sessions, about 15 hours worth of those that we work on independently. And then we are also have assessments at the end of our units, and we can earn certificates of mastery. So I have finished mine already, but it is broken up into 4 different units. There's one on early literacy foundations, oral language connections, phonological foundations, and print knowledge. And I think this is the 3rd year that our program has had the Frog Street curriculum. I remember I presented about that 3 years ago. And we, the 4 preschool teachers, after our first 2 trainings, when we got all together, we thought, wow, we felt very excited about the Frog Street curriculum, because so many of the things that we were being trained on in the letters early childhood are things that are already built in daily to Frog Street. So I think that was just kind of a good feeling for the teachers, and then should be a very good feeling for our school board, just knowing that we're on the right track and we're where we need to be going. So I especially have enjoyed this training because not only are the strategies and the activities that we're doing engaging and effective, but they are also very developmentally appropriate. And we have kids who have just turned 3 all the way up to kids who are going to kindergarten. So that's very important to have a successful program. I have been teaching preschool for a long time here, but I'm always open to learning new things and trying new ideas. So I was just going to show you a few of the things that I've implemented through the training. And these are just things that maybe I hadn't thought of in all of my years. So I have a preschool Facebook page that my families love and I've had for many years. And I often will have one of my paras in my classroom videotape activities that we're doing to show the things that we're working on and learning. So I plan on helping to build that school to home connection. I'm going to have my paras already. I'm planning on one of them for tomorrow to share with our families, because these are simple ideas that don't cost any money, and they are things that will just reinforce what we're working on at school. So this is preschool, and one of the big things that we work on in preschool is print awareness and print knowledge. So just a fun new way. These are magic mirrors. I do not have these made for all my students yet, but I'm working on that. So we talk a lot in my classroom about words are everywhere, letters are everywhere, environmental print is everywhere. So this is just kind of a more engaging way for preschoolers during our center time to go around the room, look for letters, look for words. If they see their friends' names, just look through their magic mirror and then write those words down and practice doing those things. So I introduced these yesterday, and my kids, you would not believe the amount of kids writing and going around the room and practicing those things. So that was very exciting, very easy. Another skill in the phonological awareness section, we do a lot with syllables and parts of words. And this is also one that is a favorite. I have a picture of each of my students laminated, And then I have cut them into the number of syllables that are in that child's name. So they love taking the basket of pictures and matching up syllables. And then when we're clapping out syllables and names, they're able to easily say Henry when they put it together. So another simple thing that families can do. Another favorite idea is I have a lot of letter puppets. So this is Molly Monkey. And when we're talking about first sounds in words, Molly Monkey only wants to eat foods that start with the sound. So I would have kids go around, and some of my kids going to kindergarten would say milk or muffins or things like that. So just fun new ways for kids to think about those skills. Another one I have, and this one has been really exciting. And I just like this one because in preschool, we have our alphabet posted all over. We're always singing the alphabet song. We're always talking about the letters in the alphabet. And I like this one because it is, the letters are spaced so that they go along with the phrasing of the song. So I have one of these for each one of my students, and I have one of the little colored chips. And so as we are singing the alphabet song, they are able to, with their finger, A, B, C, D, and then they don't get lost on the letters because their finger is moving right as the song is phrased. So I am able to, if a student likes construction vehicles, I can personalize those things, and they eat these up. Another one, we talk a lot about working on the sounds that letters make, and I'm sure some of you have seen these before, but we call these whisper phones. And so my husband doesn't know it yet, but he and I are going to be buying some PVC pipe this weekend, and we are going to be making these. So the point of it is, when you're practicing sounds with preschoolers, like I'm saying, it amplifies the sound, and it's just more exciting. It's a more exciting way for the kids to work on things like that. And let's see, the last one that I have, and this is one that I've had hanging out for a while, so it's time to revamp it, but just pointing out, this is an easy one to do at home, just pointing out that they can read environmental print. All of these are very memorable things or characters that they like, or restaurants and towns that they would know. So that's one of our home family connections. I'm going to have families send me some of their kids' favorite TV characters or book characters, and then I'm going to make a book out of that to also have. So I kind of have these, and the letter song is also strategically placed in my classroom because, as you know, transition times and waiting for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds is difficult. So having things like that to just kind of engage their mind while they're waiting is very good for them. So I have really enjoyed the training, and I'm excited to see 2 more this spring. So it's been very beneficial, and I know that all 4 of the preschool teachers have really gained a lot from it. So I am excited that we were able to get that through a grant.
Yeah, so letters is one of the science of reading trainings, and we wrote our own CLSD, but we were also part of the ESU CLSD grant, and their grant was preschool through 12th grade. And so the CLSD grant that the ESU got is paying for this. And then I'm also attending letters for administrators. And so we have a lot of people throughout the district, and that is an optional that they could option if they wanted to attend that. And all 4 preschool teachers went into, so that's great. Cool. Any questions?
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah. Thanks, Julie. Thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Thank you.
You're such a great teacher. I mean, I just really appreciate it.
And she wanted a preschooler again.
Very special, dear to my heart job.
That was cool.
I'm very, very thankful that our board and our like your person supporting of our preschool program.
Yes, that is something that we should be very proud
Yes.
of. You guys all do such a wonderful job. Yep.
Okay, I didn't bring anything fun. So. I'm here to talk about Spire, and that's another program that was purchased through the grant. It's a reading intervention program, and I'm just going to say that I love it. Yep. It is Orton Gillingham based, which means it's for kids that really struggle to read and have dyslexia. And it's a very structured there's 10 steps in each lesson, and it takes about an hour to get through a lesson. So sometimes, it's hard to find that hour. So it's a program that's also easy to break up. So we could do a half hour one day and then pick up for left eyes. I say it's multi-sensory. We have letter tiles that the kids manipulate the sounds of the words that I'm asking them to learn select. One of their favorites is I have a box that has sand in it, and they write it in the sand as they're telling me the letters. Or we write on our hands, we write on the table, we skywrite. However, whatever I can think of, for that. And the kids have favorites. Marker board is another one. And this program works on phonics. It works on spelling, fluency. They'll read 1 minute fluency reads. They also just do cold reads on words. That one's in mine. Comprehension, vocabulary. That has been something that I've really focused on. Took me a while to realize that kids don't always have those foundational vocab. They don't know what the words are. They're saying them, they can read them, but they don't know what it means. So it's taking the time we bring out pictures and have them use them in sentences so that they can make it more personal to them. And then the writing, they're having to write. First we write it in sand or on the table, wherever. Then they write it on their paper. I think the biggest thing that I've liked is when we started this program, first started the year, some of the kids, the last thing they wanted to do was read. They would stall, they would try to get out of it any way possible. And now I have kids that are begging me to read. So tight, and let's just do this quick run. And no, I want to read. So that's been the best thing. And they're excited when they set goals. And then when they reach them, can you write that on a piece of paper so I can take it home and tell mom? Or if they've gone to visit Miss Romchek or their classroom teacher. So that excitement is there for those kids that they know it's hard for them to read, but they're finding success with it. So that's the best part. It's cool.
I just want to add, the data that we're seeing, and we've only had this since September, and we're the training was in September. And so just in the few months here, we are seeing phenomenal results in our data with these kiddos, and the gap was already pretty big, so we still have a lot of work to go, but they're making great gains, and it's great to see. We've had some students that really struggle, that really are catching on with this program, and it's been great. It's been huge to see. This is a program that when we got the CLSD grant, Liza kind of talked us into getting it because she used it in a previous district. And I've used other organomium-based programs, but it's been great. So it's been wonderful. We're seeing great results. Our CLSD grant, the main components of it, we were doing word training at UNL, but that doesn't start till next year. And so we've spent about $90,000 on this intervention material. So that was a great deal of that grant. And so that's been a huge thing. Cool. Very teacher friendly.
Thanks. It's funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, the teachers, for coming and speaking to us. It's really nice to hear all the training that you guys are doing. Moving on to our national FFA trip.
This is you should all have a presentation. So they just they wanted to show you pictures.
Yes.
What they want to see.
Yes. It's funny. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about like what we did at Nashville and give a few little fun story stuff. So we got there on Tuesday, but it was like late. So we started our day like on Wednesday with an ocean tour, and we got to go like behind the scenes of the zoo. So there we got to see like all the different takes that they had that like normal people can't see. We got to see like all the different animals that they quarantine and the reasons that they get quarantined, whether it's because they're just not pretty to the public or because they're just like sick or they're in timeout. So this picture is we got to see them feed different stingrays. So what they would do is they put like a net in the water and they put them food in their hands, and the stingrays would just cover it. Those are cool. And then for the bigger fish, they use like this big like target, and every single time they saw the target go into the water, the fish would just like crowd it like crazy. So that was exciting to see. This fall interview now. Also being English topics. Okay, so then after our action tour, we got to go explore the rest of the zoo, which the first picture we got to had stingrays, which they scared me a little bit. Yeah, but we also had like sharks in there, like miniature sharks. Yeah, it was scary. And the next picture was just the dolphin pig, which was really cool because they just like swim right above your head, and it was just amazing. And then next we had kangaroos, which you could pet them if they came onto the walkway, but they did not come close enough for us to pet them. Yeah, they came close about everybody else besides us, but that's okay. It was really cool though because I don't think we have dolphins in Nebraska, one, so it was cool to see them. And then after we went on our tour, we got to go to the first opening section. So that's us sitting there. It's at the Lucas Oil Stadium, which is where the Colts play if you're at football. And yeah, opening section was really hype. Right when you get in there, there's so many people and it's so crowded. And there are just a ton of people that are like at the wayfront that are just dancing on the dance floor. And you're just trying to like get into your seats. So it was really, really hype. There was music playing. All sorts of stuff. We got to listen to a speaker and just got to hear like all the opening ceremonies and stuff. And yeah, I basically say it's like state convention times 10. So it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. It's sliding, like it's shaking. This thing always I think is. So I start talking about the next one that was lingering, if it changes. Oh, we got it. Sorry. I could pull this stuff. Yeah. Okay, Thursday was our vote-in day to go to the convention and explore all the different booths. There are so many careers, like, you could easily find what they're interested in. We had an amazing opportunity to get interviewed by Susan Littlefield, and that was aired nationwide, so that was pretty cool. And as you can tell, there's so many people in that room. It's just like overwhelming, but it's always fun to like be looking around at the jackets and like, oh, I know that's cool with the membership. Yeah, it was always fun because there will be people that are running around trying to find like one person from every state, and they'll always be asking, "Can I take a picture of your jacket?" You know, and it's kind of fun because that opening session they'll like say the number of people like from every state. So like one state might have like only 1,000 people, one state might have 10,000 people, another state might have like 300. So it's really cool to see like if a state like didn't have a ton of people, like the Virgin Islands, they didn't have a ton of people. It was super duper cool if you're able to find a person from the Virgin Islands. Yeah, we got to talk a lot with the UNL lady because we were familiar with her. And we just kind of got to talk a lot about like our future careers and all that sort of stuff. We got to experience a lot of opportunities with different businesses. And yeah, I learned from that interview that I need to work on being more prepared for interviews. I was terrified, guys. But hearing it over again, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I actually did okay, and I was nervous. It's Sunday in the Churchill Dome. Yeah, it's Churchill. So basically, oh, there we go. So basically, Churchill Downs is the home of the Kentucky Derby if you're into like big and stuff. So the place is like really big. So basically, first when we got in there, we kind of just got to walk around like the little museum that they had. We have a few pictures from it. It was super duper cool because it had like pictures of all the horses. It had this super duper fun outfit that all the people wore. I honestly fell in love. And they just had a lot of history about like all the different racers, all the different horses. Yeah, if you could ride a horse, you could like ride like a pin horse if you wanted to. They also did have a few like live horses there, which was super super cool. And then after that, we went into like this really big dome, and they played like a 360-degree video, which was super duper cool. It was kind of about how to prepare horses for the Kentucky Derby and how they start training on like day one, which to me is like insane. And yeah, then we took an actual tour. We got to go down like onto the field, as you can see that picture down there. And they kind of just explained a lot of like the history, all like the traditions, and like kind of just like what people like to do on racing. And yeah, we learned a lot about Secretariat, which was the horse that had a heart that was like 3 times larger than normal, than a normal horse with the secret of defense. I guess. Well, good shoot. I was like, am I supposed to say something? No, it's Sluggy. It's the Blue Gold Slugger. So also at day then we went over to the Slugger Museum. We got to get to see all different machines, and I'm telling you, I got to practice her batting. It was awful. I had a Savannah Bananas bat, if you know that team, and that thing was heavy. I could hardly like lift it low key, and I think I hit like 2 out of the 10 balls. It was kind of bad. I need to work on my baseball a bit. Okay, and then this picture here had all these different what's it called? Where I'm usually have Major League Baseball teams, and the bats like they ordered, and we got to see like what kind of wood they use and then the different shapes they like. And then at the end we got our mini bats, but we got those compensated to us at the airport security.
Oh, sure.
They won't let us take the mini bats.
They said sometimes they let them through, and that national convention when thousands of kids got them, they did it.
Oh, so they're just a big money maker for them. It's bring them back. I wonder if the airport takes them back. Some of these.
But yeah, we gotta see like all the big machines, and basically how they're made, I guess. One super duper cool thing was all these like little things, like the red and blue things are actually all signatures from the major league athletes that have actually been inside of the inside the Slugger Museum. So that was super duper cool to see. And yeah, we met this one really, really nice guy who was giving our tour, and he was telling us all about how much he loves Nebraska and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was super exciting because this is me. I had this one player that like she loves from
Alex Waring.
Yeah.
We didn't realize he was from Weekend. You guys like hold their bats.
Yeah, and she was super duper happy she got hold of the bat. So,
and you guys helped use that. Remember?
The number.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Baby red one.
I think I'm done.
All right.
Okay, so I would just like to say thank you to everybody, especially Mr. Jaker and the rest of our board. Obviously, the situation was a little unfortunate, and I didn't necessarily deserve to go, but I learned so much, and obviously FFA has made like a huge impact on me, and obviously in the school too, so I'm super grateful I had the opportunity to go. So thank you guys a lot.
I was good. Good job.
That's the true because I experienced so many cool things, and obviously I did not have to go because I did not qualify for circumstances. You gotta have someone go with there, and I'm very thankful to choose me, and I got to experience so much cool things, like my first ever airplane ride, and I really just appreciate it. Yeah.
Done.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you. Stuff. So you.
It's
Great.
Stupid.
Okay.
What?
Here's just a cat rock. Oh, guys. That's what the people. Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Get in some things. Okay. Oh, all right. We also have our student board member reports that have been attached. Are there any, do you guys have anything to add for those? Notes? As is. Okay. So those. Okay. All right. Moving on to public forum. I do have two forms submitted. So to read the public comment statement, the board welcomes public input on policies and issues affecting our school district. Per state statute, speakers must sign in at the beginning of the meeting, completing the public comment form and giving it to the president of the board. Speakers will speak in the order the forms are received. Policy 8346 outlines speakers' ability to address the board consistent with free speech rights. However, offensive language and defamatory remarks will not be tolerated. Further, concerns about individual staff members that cannot be resolved at the level closest to the situation should be directed to the superintendent. This board will not permit charges or complaints against a school employee without having followed the school's complaint procedure. In an effort to maintain the ability of the board to sit as an appellate body in student and employee appeals, comments regarding individual student or personnel issues cannot be presented at this time. Public forum is an opportunity for the public to share their thoughts on matters related to the school district. Therefore, the board will not respond to questions or comments during this time. However, should board members wish to respond, they may do so at the end of the meeting, or they may respond via email at a later date. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per speaker with a total of 15 minutes available at each meeting. And Dr. Dinker will act as our timekeeper. The first person to submit a public forum form was Dustin Hines. So please, Dustin, when you begin.
Start.
So if you start.
When you start, we start.
All right. My name is Dustin Hines. I'm a parent and a coach here at Davidson. My wife teaches here and has also coached multiple things. I think she lives here. I'd like to bring to your attention for needing a larger practice space, larger gym space, whatever additional gym would be very helpful in the sport. I got approached last year to coach middle school girls wrestling. First team, they'd say, is ever got. I have 2 other coaches with me that are fantastic. And we started out with 12 girls, and it grew to 16. This year, we have 23, 24, depending on the day. The sport's not going to go away. It's growing. You can tell, you see it everywhere in the state. Right now, we're practicing in the cafeteria, which with 24 girls is not ideal. It is elbows to gangs. So we have to roll a mat out every single day. Practice. There's no pads on any of the walls. It's dangerous. After we get done, girls have to roll the mats back up. We got to take all the tables, put them all back. Then we got to go over pretty much all our practice plans for the next day. So we're staying there another half hour after everything gets over. Very time consuming for us. A new gym would benefit not only junior high girls, it would benefit every sport in school. The high school girls right now are practicing in the dance room, which is smaller than what we have. They have 1 more girl maybe, what we do now in junior high. Having a new gym will be really good for hosting like districts. We could get bids for that, which would bring in more money for the school, help out. All the tournaments we have here, You make them run smoother. You fit more mats, everything else. Other schools our size, like even our conference, have our gyms get old. You walk in Centennial, you walk in Lakeview, those gyms are awesome. Lots of room for people to stand. You're not sitting on top of each other.
Dustin.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next person to speak, Scott Stager.
It's gonna be a little bit redundant. I'll try and skip over some of those parts, but I know we got a strategic planning session going on later this month. For the parent and volunteer coach, I am here as well to advocate for more room for the growing wrestling program and also some school security things for you to address at your meeting. So over the last 9 years, I've had the opportunity to help with club wrestling, middle school boys, and now probably my most favorite is the girls, middle school. So it's been a blast. During the time, we see numbers grow, not only in the club side, we just had record numbers the last couple of years, to middle school girls, as Justin gave you the numbers. Basically started with 12 last year, and we have doubled it to 24 this year. Some of that I think has to do with some of the success we've had. Last year at Central City, we had one win, our first tournament. We were just there last week or on Monday, 41 wins. So I think we're going to continue to see a lot of growth with this as the girls are having some success. So with that, I do ask the board to consider, not only for the safety of our kids, teachers, parents, look at some expansion for the sport that's, just constantly growing, it seems like. Another area I'd like the board to consider in our meeting is higher quality video cameras around the entire school, whether it's outside the school, in the hallways, whatever it is. I think it's going to help with mitigating problems that the school may see on a reoccurring basis, and also provide some safety to our students and maybe reduce liability on the district as well. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck. All right. With that, we'll move on to consent agenda, approved minutes of previous meetings. Camera December meeting. Are there any comments or questions regarding the minutes?
That's it for me.
Okay. If there aren't any questions or changes or edits, then we'll move on to approving claims against the district.
Don't have a whole lot to specifically point out in the list of claims. The one that I just want to bring to your attention is the trademark renewal. I'm not sure how well the board even knows or understands. We do trademark 2 items. One is the DC logo, and the other is our Scout logo. Those are trademarked. I do on occasion have to call patrons in the district and area communities and remind them that if they're going to use our logo, they need to have the superintendent's approval. I usually willingly give that permission if they're doing it to somehow benefit the district, or it's free of charge. They're making a blanket maybe that they're going to sell for junior class to raise some money, or they're just wanting to give something away. But if they're profiting from it, the answer is usually no, unless if they're going to share those proceeds with the district. And so I think a lot of people in the community don't realize that we have the DC logo and the Scout Head logo trademarked, and we do register those with the state, and just to protect our name and making stuff. So just wanted to bring that one thing to your attention, the claim, just so even you as board members, you know that it is trademarked.
Are there any other questions about any of the claims presented?
I have love.
Nope.
Right, then we'll move on to financial reports.
Yeah, general fund is in good shape. If you looked at the general fund a day or so ago, there were some errors on that, just through some copy and pasting that Angie does. She just couple numbers got transposed, and so we did get those corrected. One of them yesterday, and the rest of them this afternoon. So you should have accurate information there now. We do have just over $4 million in the general fund, which is up from last year at this time, so we are in good shape. I'd caution you a little bit, though, that we are going to have to make some significant transfers probably this summer to replenish the depreciation fund, given we have a $750,000 HVAC project at Bellwood this summer and potentially another $1.5 million next summer. And so we're going to need to replenish the depreciation fund to make those types of projects happen. But I'm very happy with where the general fund is at right now. In terms of the expenditure report, it's crazy to think we're actually 5 months in to the new fiscal year. We spent 33, almost 34% of the general fund, so we're in good shape in terms of what we spent out of that general fund, which will then allow us to make those types of transfers this summer for those HVAC projects. Depreciation fund, we had two fairly large expenses out of there. We started paying for the Bellwood HVAC project, so they've got equipment being ordered as we speak and get it here so that we can get that all done this summer. And then we did replace, you probably noticed the fence over at the preschool. We replaced that chain link fence over here with a white privacy fence. And that's been a real good addition. It also allows us the ability to lock that facility on the weekends and evenings if we need to. We've had some vandalism issues over there the last few months, and so we've now restricted some access on the weekends. People still have access to the elementary playground, but not so much to the preschool as a result of that. Employee benefit fund, like I say every month, that's really the teacher's money, not ours. So that's their cafeteria plan for pre-tax, daycare, and medical expenses. Activity fund is in good shape right now. I don't want to jinx it, but the lunch fund, we're actually for the first time since I've been here, this fiscal year, we're actually in the black. We're not negative 30 or so thousand, which we typically are at this point. And so, like, just I think it's a combination of things. I think that Lynn's done a good job of watching what we ordered. Prices have come down maybe a little bit. We don't have as many free and reduced lunch families for whatever reason this year. That's down a few percent, so more people are paying full price for lunch, and we did raise prices. And then a year ago, we did start taking some of the preschool tuition money to reimburse the lunch fund for those meals for the preschool kids. And so I think it's kind of a combination of things, but we're actually running in the black right now a semester every year, which is nice. That maybe we won't have to make that $60,000 or $80,000 transfer in this summer to replenish that. So that's at least good news now. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Something crazy happens now in February, but we are in good shape there right now. Building fund, we've got $350,000 or so in there. We have a payment due in June. We should get a decent tax draw sometime later this month, another one in May. So we'll be able to make that payment in June. As soon as we do have the funds in there to pay off this last payment of the lease purchase in addition, I'd like to do that. And so I've been watching each month to see where we're at, but we need $650,000. Just short of that is what our last payment is. And then this new addition will be paid off. It was a 7-year lease purchase that'll be paid off, and I think just under 6 years. So we were able to cut a year off of that. So nothing in the bond fund and nothing in the QC Puff fund for activities. And then in December, we did have some FCCLA dues come out of the student fee account. Other than that, that's a short synopsis of the finances this month.
No questions about any of the funds? No.
Yes.
Click. Then with that, I will empty our consent agenda
for a motion to approve consent agenda items. What we want to create.
Someone say,
With by Marcus, seconded by Tony. Gary?
Yes.
I vote yes. Casey?
Yes.
Justin?
yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to board committee reports. Do we have any meetings or?
No, but we will between this month and next one, our American Civics
Okay.
Committee. So I'll send out some dates on that.
Okay, great. Board workshop conference reports. Or if has anybody been to anything since the state conference? I'm definitely legislative issues conference is coming up.
Yep, Aaron is signed up for that, so
Yes, and I would like to be signed up as well, please. And then I think New York says is in February. So if you
This February?
yeah, not the conference. Okay. Yeah, their legislative forum is in February. Okay. All right.
Anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay, moving on to administrative reports. Would any administrators like to add to their report?
I have nothing.
Can I just say something?
Of course you can.
Just on the record. So you have a PTO and you have a PTO and you made a response about the board providing the sun caps and headbands, and we're so thankful and gracious, and then also for the food. That's Stephanie, not the board. So
Not much stuff.
I just want to make sure that if the board provides something, we'll provide it for all schools. So it's just, we've talked and done things that we're just like, they have a PTO and they have a PTO, and high school doesn't have anything. So we appreciate that is Stephanie providing the food during the
Appreciate that. Well, I'm thanks to Casey too, because it's not just me.
Well,
We're just parents just doing something for the
just
secondary
mom.
teachers.
I just wanted to make that clear because I saw that you thanked the board, and sorry guys. Not that. It is not that.
I was wondering why I didn't know nothing about that.
I'm sure you read it diligently.
He would have made some soup had he known.
Okay. Anyway, I just didn't want the other schools too to be like, wait, what?
Yeah, the board didn't give us anything.
Yeah.
So just gonna,
I know you would have, but just for the rest.
that's true. That's true.
Okay. Moving on.
Well, I did want to say too that this month's administrative reports, there was a lot of really good data. I know that, who was it, Ms. Greenfield or Mr. Lensley, who had a lot of there was some. Both of them too. Yeah, and then there was some behavioral data, there was some tardy and absentee data, all of these pieces of information that we are getting in our administrative reports inform. I think it's really good for us to these are positive steps. I was really impressed with the attendance stuff because that is a huge issue when you're, kids needing to be in the school to actually learn is important. And so those percentages going down is important. So I really appreciate those pieces of information being included because that tells me that we're making a difference in the way that we're approaching how we're, working with families or doing what you are doing what you need to do.
I just had a question on one of Mr. Lindsley's. When you compared 7th grade this year to last year's, stuff like that, did you compare it to 7th grade to this year's
So
8th grade?
7th graders last year be this year's 8th graders.
Okay.
So it's it's that grade that year.
That's,
So if you had to scale step, if you want to compare class, the same kid group of kids.
Yes.
Yep, stair step.
yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate that because I know that can be time consuming to put that in there, and it does get running. It is appreciated. All right, 8.1, discuss, consider, take action on early graduation requests.
Yeah, this is 8th, so we've got an early graduation request already. Typically, we don't get until February or March, and then even April, but we've got an early one. I don't know, Stacy, if you want to add anything to what was already provided.
No, it's pretty clear that she's going to join the military, and she's ready to start things. And the military and her mother both suggested that she graduate early so that she could get started, and it's a good plan for her.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve or the early graduation.
All right. Moved by Casey, seconded by Marcus to approve our early graduation request presented. Donnie?
Yep.
Justin?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
I vote yes, Marcus?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations to her and good luck with that'll be next December, right? Yeah, that'll be good. 8.2, discuss, consider, take action on Lower Platte North NRD hazard mitigation plan.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Once every 5 years, we have to put together a hazard mitigation plan, and we have to send a representative. So I'm the one who gets to do that on our behalf. And we have 2 or 3 meetings, and all the different agencies in the area put together a plan. So that way, like, let's say there was another flood again or whatever, we are able to access some funding. I also have to list some things that we might be interested in. And so one of the things that I listed in there potentially was generators for the school. Might be one thing that we'd be interested in at some point. And then sometimes there's funding available to where they'll match it. So we would pay 50%, and there might be 50% funds from FEMA and whatever. So so that's what I put together. I sent you guys the plan. We're not committed to anything other than you have to have your name and a representative there, so that if funds become available, you have access to those funds. If you're not there, you don't have a representative at the table, God forbid there be some type of natural disaster, you're not able to access any of that funding. So we were supposed to do this a couple months ago, and I spaced it off to approve this resolution. So I do need formal approval from the board to be part of it.
Are there any questions from the board?
How many hours of meetings did that entail?
It's not that much, actually. It was there 3, usually a couple hours. Yeah, each meeting is a couple hours, and there's 2 or 3. So it's not too painful. And they're really helpful there, even to help us put it together, and because it has to meet certain criteria, and so they're the people who run it are actually really helpful.
So did they say any odds or chances of actual funding being available for?
I know, Scott, do you mind if I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So just from my past experience with this, something to come good from my experience with the same point. Usually one would county defer the declaration at some point. That is when the hazard mitigation funds then become available to that county. And we did have a declaration up out on the road sales fund this last winter. So there may be things that are coming down depending on benefits and stuff like that. And so that's something to keep in touch with Mr. Dolan. We may have some insight on what becomes available as well. So thank you again.
Any other questions?
Can't think of that.
Yeah. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the Lower Platte North NRD hazard mitigation plan and related resolution.
So moved.
Second.
By Donnie, seconded by Casey. Marcus?
Yes.
I vote yes. Aaron?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to personnel. Discuss the say take action on staff resignation.
I don't think we have any certified staff resignation.
Okay. To discuss, consider take action on new teacher contracts for next school year. We have 3.
Yeah, we have 3. Andra,
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay, thank you. 4th grade, David City Elementary. Jared Engel, going to do some PE at David City Elementary, and Emily New Year is going to do some PE at Bellwood. You're going to see you're thinking, wait, that's 2 PE teachers, well, I had 1. Well, we also have a full-time sub that's not going to come back. And we're not going to officially announce everything yet. I need to wait to get approval on some HIPAA things before we officially make some announcements. But all 4 PE teachers, their assignments will be shifting. And 2 of them are going to be half-time PE, half-time full-time sub next year. And then so we had to get a little bit creative with those positions. So.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the teacher contracts for the 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Marcus, seconded by Casey.
Yes.
Yes. Justin?
Yes.
Donnie?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Future discussion and action items. I know I gave Dr. Dinker a couple of things to add to our board retreat on the 28th. So, you know, I mean, if you have some considerations, make sure that you kind of talk to him about it or to myself, just so there's other things the administration needs to pull together to help guide the discussion. They need time to not to the wire.
I've got, I think, 4 or 5 items on there, which will be rather intensive conversations. Long-range facility plan, strategic plan update in terms of the school improvement piece on that, future staffing. Some ones, safety and security, they're on there. And so each one of those would be rather lengthy conversations. I don't think any of them will be brief, but if you have some other things, you probably need to know sooner rather than later. If it's going to involve some work on the admin's part or doing some research. But I do think we have a fair amount to talk about already. So I guess if you're going to send us 10 more things, we might need to have an overnight plan.
Not happen.
Table it. They want.
And then so if it can, wait till February, March board meeting. Not saying we don't have room for 1 or 2 more, but if you give me a list of 10 more things, that could be a problem. It's 6 o'clock. We're eating at 5:30. That's what I was thinking. I'd have the food here at 5:30, and start the official meeting at 6. Good work.
All right. Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Then second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
8:12.
Oh,
We'll go figure out how to shut this off.
I know. Wasn't bad.
Yeah. There is some scaffold outside.
I know, like, that's me.